Welcome, Elenus. In this video, we're going to see about the income from salary. What do you mean by salary? Definition: any remuneration received by an employee in consideration of services rendered to his employer is called salary. Salary includes monetary value of those benefits and facilities provided by the employer that are taxable. Section 17, subsection 1 of Income Tax Act gives an inclusive and not exhaustive definition of salaries, which include the salary include the wages, annuity or pension, gratuity, fees, commission, allowances, perquisites, or profit in lieu of salary, advance of salary, amount transfer from the unrecognized provident fund to recognized provident fund, contribution of the employee to recognized provident fund in excess of prescribed limit, leave encashment, compensation as a result of the variation in service contract, etc. Contribution made by the central government to the account of an employee under notified scheme. Wages is nothing but a sum of money paid under the contract by the employer to the employee for service rendered is called wages. Annuity or pension is payment received from the previous or the present employer after attaining the retirement. It may have payout from pension plans created by the employer. And received from the present employer is taxed as a salary, and received from the previous employer is taxed as a profit in lieu of salary. Profit in lieu of salary payments includes employment termination compensation or employment terms modification compensation, payment due to received from an unrecognized provident fund or unrecognized superannuation fund to the extent of contribution by an employer and interest on the employer's contribution. Any amount received from any person before joining or after cessation of the employment is also termed as a profit in lieu of salary. Gratuity. Gratuity is a lump sum amount voluntarily paid by the employer to the employee as a token of appreciation for the services rendered to the organization is gratuity. An amount received as a fees to the employees from the employer for the service rendered is included in the definition of salary. Commission. Any amount of commission given to the employee for the services provided shall from part to the salary. If the employee receives a fixed commission as a percentage of a sales of profits, it shall be considered as a salary. Perquisites. Perquisites are additional benefits received over and above the salary due to the employee's official position. It may be provided in cash or kind. For example, club fee payment, free loans, educational expenses, rent-free accommodations, and so on. The advance salary payments received in the financial year or advance salary payments before the year they're actually due. A loan taken by the employer is not an advance salary. Leave encashment. The government and some private employers compensate employees for the accumulated leaves. They can give the payment due to service or after retirement or resignation. The payment received for the encashment of leave and while during the service period will form part of the salary. Employees Provident Fund. Contribution by the employer exceeding 12% of the salary or annual interest exceeding the rate notified by the central government on balance of the credit of the employees recognized provident fund. And pension, the treatment of these two kind of pensions are under periodical pension, committed pension. Periodical pension is fully taxable in hands of all employee, whereas the government and non-government. Commuted pension for employees of the government organization, local authorities, and statutory corporations, it is fully exempted from tax, hence not included in the gross salary. Gratuity. For the purpose of the exemption, employees are divided into three categories: government employees and employees of the local authority. Employees covered under payment of the Gratuity Act 1972. In case employees who are covered under the payment of the Gratuity Act, minimum of the following amounts were exempted. The amount of the actual gratuity amount received, 15 days of salary for of every completed years of services, are part thereof in excess of 6 months, or 10 lakhs, whichever is lesser. Or other for other employees, in case of the employees not falling under the category of the Gratuity Act, the actual amount of the gratuity received, half month salary of every completed year of services, or 10 lakhs, whichever is lesser to be taken. Leave salary. The treatment of leaves encashment is as under encashment of leave while in services, encashment of leave on retirement. State or central government employees, other employees, leave encashment of the accumulated leave at the time of retirement received by the employees exempted to the extent of minimum of the following for amounts. The amount specified in the central government, 3 lakh. Leave encashment actually received, 10 months of the average salary, cash equivalent of the unwild leave. So, least of these will be taken for the exempted amount. Fully taxable cash allowances, partially exempt cash allowances, fully exempt cash allowances. Entertainment allowance, special allowance for the meeting of all office expenditures, special allowance to meet personal expenses, children education allowance, children hostel allowances, transport allowance, running allowances, tribal area allowances, underground allowance, fully exempted perquisites, value of the rent-free accommodation, central and state government employees, and other employees. If accommodation is owned by the employer, if the population exceeding 25 lakh as per 2001 census, 50% of the salary minus the actual amount rent received by an employee. If the population is between 25 lakhs to 10 lakhs, 10% of the salary has to be taken. And in other places, the 7.5 percentage of the salary have to be taken. Accommodation is taken on the lease or rent by the employer, rent paid by the employer, or 15% of the salary, whichever is lower, less recovered from the rent recovered from the employee. Accommodation in a hotel for 24% of the salary paid or payable, or actual charges paid, payable, whichever is lower, lesser amount paid or payable by the employee. Car perquisites. The owner of the car is the employer and expenses are borne by the employer and purpose is for fully official. The taxable perquisite is nil. If the owner of the car is the employer and expenses are borne by the employer and it is fully used for the private purpose, we have to consider all the three. There is actual expenditure on the car and remuneration to the driver and 10% of the wear and tear. That is actual expenses made for the car and less amount charged from the employee. And if the owner of the car is the employer and expenses are borne by the employer, is partially for the official and partially for the private purpose. Means if the car engine is up to 1.6 liters, 1,800 per month plus 900 for the driver. And if the cubic capacity of the car is more than 1.6 liters, 2,400 per month plus 900 per month for the driver. If the car as the owner is the employer and it is expenses are borne by the employer and it is partially and officially is used means 600 per month if the cubic capacity is up to 1.6 plus 900 for driver. And if the car capacity is more than 1.6 liters, 900 per month for, and plus 900 for the driver. If the owner of the owner of the car is the employee and the expenses are borne by the employer, it's fully used for the official purpose means purpose it is nil. And the owner of the car is the employee and the expenses are borne by the employer is used for partially for the official and partially for the private personnel. And cubic capacity is up to 1.6 liters or value of the car based on the actual expenditure incurred, it will be considered. And employee owns other automotive but not car. If it is fully used for the official purpose, it's not it's not included in the perquisites. Employee owns other automotive car but not the car. The owner the expense is borne by the employer. Partially used for the official purpose means the actual expenditure incurred by the employer less than the rupees 900 per month. Thank you.